following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face Off Hockey Show. What? With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
breakaway. Take two city stars. There we go.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes!
Here's your host for the Face Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
Bang, bang, promo time, take two. Welcome, everybody. It's Face Off Hockey Show. I'm Scotty Waz. Johnny P is with me. Mark with the C is with me. We're getting things done, ladies and gentlemen. I've already done one show today, so this is my second show of the day. And away we go. The goodness gracious, all-around fun time for a Face Off Hockey Show.
How do I delete videos from... Oh, got it. Take that, people.
Nailed it!
All right, the last 20 minutes never existed.
Sounds about right. Sounds
I've told women that, too. Wait, what?
Zing.
Sorry, lady.
Sorry. All right, so Face Off Hockey Show. Hockey season starts. Happy first week of hockey to you and yours.
Have you guys been watching a lot of hockey?
I've been watching a fair amount of hockey. I got the Center Ice package. So I've been watching that, which, by the way, NHL TV does not match up to the Center Ice package. Like, here's the thing. So I'm watching this on a Roku. The thing is they give you the option, start from the beginning or resume. So basically, start from the beginning means they start whenever they open the feed, which could have been 3 hours before game time. So you have to fast forward the entire time through to get to the live broadcast, which is goddamn ridiculous. Because I'm like,
well, they could also be asking for your resume. Maybe it's not.
You know what? Very good point, Johnny. I didn't even think about that.
They might be trying to get you a job in the NHL, and you're like, "Well, let me just start from the beginning each time."
It can't fit into the.
And then 15 years later, we're still not making money.
You can't fit that thing into the USB thing, even with the newer, bigger Roku. I don't think you can.
Okay. Maybe if you fold your resume more than 8 times, you can get it in there.
It also means they can't get ripped up, so they have to see it.
Yep.
So there we go.
True story.
So there's that. But yeah, I mean, I've been watching a little bit. I saw some Joe B and Craig and Locker with Smoke and Al. So
nice.
It was good times.
I feel like I've been doing a lot of listening to hockey. Like, it's been on, but I haven't really been paying attention.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Type of thing.
I can understand that. Mark?
I have not been watching that much hockey, but then again, I haven't really been home in front of a television enough to be watching hockey. I did watch some of opening night against the Penguins. I was able to catch some of that, but yeah, nothing too crazy. I did also see on opening night, and I would imagine that we're going to be touching on this at some point, so I don't want to spoil it if I am going to spoil anything, unless you want to just break into the rundown. So I heard that one of these rookies is pretty good.
It's Austin. Yeah, we were talking about that live on air as it was happening.
The number 1 pick from last year. So I couldn't remember if that was a Wednesday night or a Thursday night, but yeah, so kind of wild and crazy stuff.
Yeah,
he plays for the Leaf.
That's true. He doesn't play for the Wild. Good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah, no, we were as it happened, live as it happened. Lauritsen was breaking it down for us because he's 45 minutes ahead of us.
It's true.
In the stream. But yeah, no, Austin Matthews just going ham. And because of that, like his jersey wasn't on sale. Because I guess with contracts and players associations and whatever, he has to be, I don't know how it works. But apparently, according to Fanatics, which is, I guess, the official retailer of the NHL, Austin Matthews' jersey's number 1 seller in the past week. The Leafs are
number one news show.
They were talking about how the Leafs had 700 pre-made Austin Matthews jerseys, and they all sold out within minutes. So Matthews mania running wild. Austin 416 says, "I just scored some goals." So
has he scored any since? I haven't been paying attention.
I don't think he has. I don't know. We will have to
I did
check
the math, and he was on pace to score like 240 some goals this year after the first game.
That would have been some kind of record.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, it's good for him to get off to a quick start. So I don't think I picked him for any of my fantasy teams. Which is did
got him.
you get him?
Yeah, Yahoo
I got him
picked,
in, like,
Yahoo
12th
picked
round,
Jack
too.
Eichel for me, so
Austin
that's a pain
Austin
in the
Matthews
dick.
played in 2 games. He only has those 4 goals.
Yeah, it's still a great week for him.
Only 82 goal pace. Then that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's not good. Wait,
You did say 4 goals, 4 games.
2 games.
Yeah, so
He's only,
100.
he's only played 2 games.
Yeah,
What the shit? How many only played 2 games?
according to NHL.com, they've only played 2 games.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. Whereas the Oilers have played at least half their schedule already.
Yeah.
It seems every night the Oilers are on for some ungodly reason.
I like how the Avalanche are already on an East Coast road trip.
They're getting it out of the way early. Knock all 15
Like,
teams out.
it's literally the first week, and they're like, "Hey, let's go on a 6-game road trip." That's
Well,
when it
don't the
starts
Caps
season.
usually do that? Like at the end of October or early November, they're in like Western Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll do the West Coast, Western Canada swing, and then come back.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not unheard of. It's silly.
It's just interesting that it occurs that early in the season, though, like in the first week of the season. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen it in MLS before, but it's normally because they're still constructing a stadium.
Yes, there's reasons for that. By the way, what was I going to get to? By the way, in that game, Austin Matthews scored 4 goals. The only 4 goals for the Maple Leafs. They still lost.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
That was the
That's
tremendous
so
part of
Leafs. So Leafs.
So there's that. But yeah, Austin Matthews doing pretty well. Haven't seen any of that. The only Canadian hockey I've seen has been the Montreal Canadiens opening night for themselves, and I was waiting for PK Subban to come out, but he never did.
Nope.
Never did. By the way, I think I might be wrong. It could have been just for opening night, but when Jen and I went out for dinner Friday night at Wild Hogs, the Blackhawks Predators game was on, and the Predators were wearing their gold helmets, which is usually a Saturday night affair, a Saturday night thing. Saturday
Maybe
night
that's
gold.
their official. You know what? The Caps used to do something similar with their old school white jerseys. Then all of a sudden, it just became their away their away jerseys. So maybe they just decided to go with it for their normal kits.
Yeah, I would like it. It's just all gold. It's annoying to Jen, but I like it. I like all gold everything.
Wait, is it gold or mustard? Because I always think it's mustard.
Oh no, this one's gold. The old school was mustard.
Okay.
The old school. This, you know what? This is mustard if you get the bright yellow, the classic yellow mustard.
Like not the new newfangled.
Yeah, not the
Heinz
spicy mustard. No.
Yeah, no, not the spicy mustard. It's-
The only problem that I have with this is I heard a story from my roommate that I used to live with before I bought my house and such, and his dad played semi-pro-ish hockey in the Connecticut area. Connecticut, I think it is actually, and they had a guy that ended up playing on their team when he came down to Maryland who was pretty terrible, and he had a yellow helmet. So they just kept calling him Yellow Helmet because no one knew what his name was. Like, no one took the time to find out what his actual name was because he was that bad. So like every time I hear every time I hear about people wearing yellow helmets, it's like yellow helmet.
Yeah, St. Joe, it's a different thing. Where St. Joe, your top scorer, best player, wears the yellow helmet on varsity.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What if they wear different sizes?
Well, I think you donate, and that's a good question.
It's
You
like
buy
it's like the
one
yellow
helmet
jacket
in each size.
It's like the yellow jacket on the Tour de France. They don't give the same yellow jacket to everybody. It's whatever fits you. You got to go get your size.
It's like the
Did
gold
they have-
helmet. in
Did you
Finland.
have to go and buy your own helmet?
Yeah, they didn't. St. Joe didn't supply shit except for
Ah.
jerseys and socks and breezers. Like a
Well, I mean, if they wanted you to wear a yellow helmet, did you have to buy like a white helmet and a yellow helmet in case you were awesome?
black helmet and yellow helmet. Maybe.
Yeah, because I
Black
guess
helmet.
you had to have a yellow helmet just in case
Just
you
in
were the
case.
leading
Well,
scorer.
a lot of these kids play for Tri City, so they already had yellow helmets.
So is that why the
I
yellow
see.
helmet became the thing? Because
Very possible. 'Cause Gary Kremen's a fucking whatever. I like Gary Kremen now, but back then he was a son of a bitch. By the way, here's the former Shea Weber, formerly of the Predators, with the yellow helmet on. See, that doesn't look
yellow.
Western to me. That's gold. That's almost gold. You bring the women
It's
up.
like a confident yellow.
It is a confident yellow. That's the yellow that says, you know what, I may not get this position, but at least I put my standing up in this company.
I'm not going to pay a lot for that muffler.
Exactly. So there's good old Shea Weber, who apparently had himself a night last night, but I didn't watch any of that game. Al Montoya, by the way, magnifique. Is
he avenging his father's death?
He is. He's avenging the death of Carey Price's stomach, because he's had a flu bug. I guess he didn't get his flu shot. Al Montoya 3-0. Get your flu shot yet, guys?
I did.
There you go.
Did.
One of the first occurs in like December, I think, or
What?
November.
You're already in flu season then.
Yeah.
Well, I work for a hospital system.
Yeah, my hospital system's already done it. You have to be done, or else you get fired.
Well, you actually work in a hospital, though.
That's true too.
Like, I work for a hospital system, but I'm never in a hospital. So basically, I'm like the last. They're like, all right, well, you guys have to get flu shots because you work here, but you can be last on the list.
You get the dose that we think might have been tainted, but it's got some kind of flu in there.
You get the flu. Congratulations.
It's like that. I always think of that Lewis Black bit. You always have a cold, and you never get the flu because you always have a cold. Then he goes into an IHOP bit. It's great. Anybody's week be a good week. They have a good week. I'm gonna have a week.
We had a week.
I mean, there's a week. I threw down a bunch of seed in the backyard. I got
What?
some grass growing.
Weird.
Because George
Did you have to watch an
walked by
instructional
my.
video on how to put your seed down?
I did. It was on a tube.
Did you
YouTube, I think, or PornTube or Red. I don't know, one of the tubes.
did it go off your deck? Did the seed
Yeah, that's what happens when I stain my deck.
stay in your deck? You get some seed on the lawn. Well, these things happen.
True story. Oh well.
What can you do?
I hope that people have listened to both videos.
I know. I really hope the missing video. I hope people that saw it live now they have something.
It's been deleted. It's been deleted now, so it's a deleted show.
So it always had to be live. If you didn't listen to it live, it's new to you. This whole bit's new to you. Why do I still have silicone gels in this? This is two I've pulled out of this hoodie. I guess I don't wear this hoodie that much. So
Not retelling the story.
I was going to start wearing my Caps hoodie, but it's like 65 degrees here, so.
yeah, I don't understand why you guys are so goddamn warm and we're getting frost warnings up here. I had to start my car from my bedroom. It was so cold.
It sounds like it should
Isn't
be a
that
joke.
I feel like that's such like a I guess like a new technology type of problem where you can be like, yep, car started.
How cold
All right,
is
I'll
it?
wait
It
for
was
to
so
warm up.
cold. I had to start my car from my bedroom. Boom, tsh.
I mean, there's gonna be like when we have kids, they're gonna be like, you did what? You actually had to be in the car to start it? Jeez.
No, but when we have kids, we're not the kids. By the time they're 16, they're gonna not have cars to drive. There's gonna be robots driving them by then.
Yeah, you're right.
I have a kid, guys.
Oh yeah, I was talking about me and John.
Oh,
Yeah, but she's not good driving yet.
6 more years. she's in double digits now. It's hard to believe.
Oh,
So yeah, you're telling me.
she's almost as tall as I.
I think she might be taller.
That's probably true, actually.
It's probably a good 4.5.
Yeah, definitely taller than me. Then. At 10.
Yeah. My week was okay. I'm getting prepared for weekend at Winnipeg. So Heritage Classic Face-Off Hockey Show will represent. Don't know what the hell we're gonna do there. We'll do stuff and things and stuff. So
Nice.
yep, there's that. All right. Well, if anybody else has anything to throw out there, anything?
No.
Bueller,
I got nothing. Well, I mean, my hot water heater in my old place,
which is your current place right now.
current place where I am currently right now, leaked but it's not my house, so who cares? And most of our stuff is gone, so I don't care anymore. I told a
You
big
should
long story.
actually go to you should go to like the grocery store and buy some leeks and put it on top of the hot water heater. So
Yeah,
when they
that's the-
come to fix it, then you can like play a joke on them.
There's a leak on the yeah. But the ironic part is we can't get to it. So even if I wanted to like try and help them out, I couldn't because they locked the closet that has the hot water heater in it because I guess they're afraid people will break it. Even though it's broken already.
Oh, the irony. So you can't actually figure out that it's leaking until you see water coming out the
Yeah, exactly. There's literally
the
nothing
room.
I can do.
That's perfect.
That's
perfect.
well laid plans.
Because like I mean it's all well and good, but we found out that the water heater, it was definitely the water heater. I mean, because the ceiling below the water heater on the floor beneath it was where it was leaking, so that was a pretty good indication. But also the carpet coming out of the closet where the hot water heater is residing was also wet. But it's not like we could open the door and try and like towel it off because it's locked.
Geniuses, that landlord.
Well, it's a management
So
company.
did they like previously have somebody that was like, you know what, I need a hot water heater, and like grabbed it and like took it with them? Like,
Yeah, you
what
can't
gets
really.
you to the point where you have to lock the closet that the hot water heater is in?
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't understand. Maybe somebody tried to fix it one time. Maybe it's an insurance thing. I don't know, but you raise a good point. I'm not quite
Yeah,
sure.
it's not that easy to get out. It's not that easy to get out of a fucking whatever.
No, even when there's no water in it, it's heavy as shit.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's is bound to hear you or see you because you can't put that like in a Toyota Tercel.
And prove that I didn't bring it with me. I was here when I brought it with me when I moved in. It's
There
mine.
you go.
That's true.
This is my
Yeah,
water.
prove it.
Prove it. It's that you said nothing bolted down.
It's true.
All right. Well, in that case, Johnny Appleseed, go ahead and kick me some music there, and we can get some music going.
Yeah, oh yeah, what condition, my condition was in.
And I feel much better with this pop filter on there. Oh yeah, pop filter, baby. Big injury in Los Angeles. Not only are they 0-3, the Kings, Jonathan Quick is gone for 3 months with a groin injury. He
A
is.
picture on YouTube from people that aren't Kings fans that said that he got injured because he was carrying around a diaper full of poo. Because he's a baby.
I get it. So there you go. John Quick out 3 months. Not having surgery on it, though. He did a non-surgical procedure today, which, as a former surgery specialist, that's not good.
Okay, so the only thing I can think of is that Mr. Miyagi like helped him, right? Or someone of that ilk was like standing over him, was like,
You talking about an Asian? Is that what you're talking about? Someone of that
Well,
ilk, John?
no, I mean
You
he
just
was
say
like
what you
a
mean.
he was like a Jedi master, wasn't he? Isn't that
That was Yoda.
isn't that what he was?
That was Yoda. He's
That
right.
was
It was Yoda.
Well, I,
Well,
no, I was
he's-
just saying, like
He's like,
he's a correct.
I mean,
Karate
Yoda was an alien that was probably supposed to be sort of Asian in the way
well,
that he
okay,
was
well,
teaching
fair enough.
things.
Wasn't he more like Mr. Sulu giving direction?
Who?
Mr.
Yoda
Miyagi.
or
Mr. Miyagi?
Mr. Miyagi?
Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, I mean, why did you have to pick Sulu? He's also
Hmm?
Asian.
What?
Could you have picked someone else?
Hmm. What about
I don't know.
Splinter? Was he like Splinter?
Yes, except the Splinter was sort of also an Asian stereotype.
What?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Hmm.
I'm in a rabbit hole at this point.
It is weird that all the wise teachers seem to be Asian in all
He's
of the
like
movies.
Gandhi. He was
He's-
Hindu. You can't say shit about that one.
It's true. That's not totally. I mean, technically still Asian.
Continentally,
still Asian, but not in
definitely not.
the accepted terminology of.
Let's
You
move
know.
on.
All
Move
I
on.
was saying was that somebody's clapped their hands together and fixed his groin. That's what I was saying.
and you have to pay primo dollars at some whorehouses. I mean, I don't know. I've
It
heard
was
stories.
non-surgical. Non-surgical.
Non-surgical. A holistic healer. He's gonna be rushed to the hospital. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like George Costanza in the Triangle. A lot of people are happy about this. Evander Kane broken ribs week to week.
Who's going to be happy about that?
Everybody that hates Evander Kane, which is a lot of people. Which is a lot of
Even
people.
If I hated somebody, I wouldn't wish that for them to get hurt.
Oh, they loved it.
The worst thing that could occur to you, I mean, outside of death, I feel, is breaking a rib.
Yeah. That's not fun.
Like you
when
can't even
bruise a rib.
breathe or sneeze or cough or, I mean, everything hurts.
It's almost it's akin to a backache. These backaches are terrible too. So
You can't even sleep.
yeah.
Not well.
No. Brian Little with an unclassified injury is out indefinitely.
Unclassified.
That seems ominous.
Yeah, it seems very
Yeah.
ominous.
I mean, they would.
you would know.
I mean, you think most teams would try and classify that sort of information, at least for official use only. But I mean, unclassified.
Yeah, it's an unidentified something.
Anybody can get it.
It must. Yeah, it must have been on Hillary's server.
Oh,
I'm getting political on you.
jeez.
Yeah.
Not to say
yeah.
I'm.
No.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
That's fine. No, I'm talking about apparently Luke Bryan and stuff. I don't know what's going on. It's a lower body
Like
injury. So it's an
the-
unclassified lower body injury. He's out indefinitely. There you go.
Luke Bryan, the country singer?
Yeah, they were talking about how he got pissed in an interview or some shit. I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing. I just put Brian
He's
Little.
probably
And
pissed a lot.
then, Brian Little, and then Luke Bryan comes up. Way to go, Bing.
Was Luke Bryan a little pissed?
That would have been great. Probably. That's probably it. A little pissed. Groin injury. That's what I put. Michael Raffle. He got a ticket to the IR, upper body injury, 10 to 14 days. So he is out. Woltek Woski. Big injury for
He's
him.
still
over in the
playing?
He's over in the KHL. Probably not for long because he broke his neck.
Oof.
Ow.
He got hit on the boards and broke his goddamn neck. He is stabilized and ready to go. I'm trying to find. Oh God, number lock. No number lock. Number lock. I do want number lock. By the way, I want to say that new keyboards are probably the worst invention ever.
You get one of them mechanical keyboards that goes clicky 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 clicky.
You mean like a typewriter?
Like a typewriter?
It makes it sound like a typewriter, but it's really a keyboard. You didn't get one of those?
No.
Apparently, it's all the rage.
Is it?
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
There's raging.
Raging, yeah. So he slid into the
Was it-
boards, broke his neck, and had to be
slipped.
carried off. Yeah.
Wow.
Thursday,
Nice
Winger slid.
break.
He slid headfirst in the boards while pursuing a loose puck in the third period.
By himself?
Yeah, someone was behind him. He didn't get touched or anything like that. In intensive care. He told Gino Retta. He never thought he'd say he got lucky after breaking a net, but it could have been a lot worse. He's staying positive. Hopes to make a quick recovery and return late this season.
Wow.
If he returns late this season, a straight baller. That's what he is. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The Buffalo Sabres re-signed Tim Murray to a 4-year contract extension as general manager, and he looks scared as hell. He looks scared when he signed his contract.
Is he not going to take it anymore?
He might not.
Oh, no, that's when you're mad as hell.
Yeah, he's mad as hell. He looks scared. He looks like a guy who had to write. Everything is fine here. They're treating me well. Or read that off a thing like captives do. It didn't go over well. It's a visual thing for a podcast. It's kind of visual, but no one watches the video. I am hiccuping and burping like a son of a bitch. Moving
Did you
on.
drink?
I wish. Had garlic chicken. Maybe that's it.
Could be it.
I don't think that's it.
The garlic or the chicken, maybe both.
Possibly the noodles.
The combination of the noodles, garlic, and chicken.
I want to read this one. The Leafs retired jerseys of 16 honored players, including Sundin and Gilmore.
Sorry, that was just a burp. That wasn't a hiccup.
That was a good one. I like that. Did that mean they retired them? They're retiring the jerseys of all of 16 previously honored players. So number 14, Dave Keon's number, was retired. Here's the numbers the Maple Leafs have taken out of circulation now. 1, 4, 7, 9, 10, 13, 17, 21, 27, and 93. They're all out of circulation now.
Well, I mean, they have a lot of other numbers.
That's true. But still, it seems weird.
And 99.
Well, yeah, 99 also taken out of the equation. Although the Payarvi, or what's his name? The Pico, the guy who got picked by Edmonton. Puljujarvi. He's wearing number 98. I'm like, ooh, that's awfully close, Brian Lawton. So, oh well, what can you do? Oh well, bird. Rest in peace, General Fanager. The website is now dead. DED, dead. Because the guy who runs the place...
It's dead to public.
Well, dead to the public, sure. The guy who runs the place got hired by the Las Vegas Your Name Hears as their analytical operational guy.
This is great.
So, there we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, not the last person who ran one of these sites, because unfortunately, he passed away, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Or
but he worked for a team beforehand too. So,
but that's what I was about to get to. Was a lot of the people who develop and spend time, and mostly probably their own time. It's probably like a hobby, almost as if like they spend a lot of time doing something and don't really make much money off of it because it's a hobby.
Right.
Yeah.
They wind up in some of these particular situations getting good jobs, but not because of the hobby. During the hobby, you really don't make any money on the hobby portion of it. I mean,
yeah,
right. It's like Hobbits.
Mm-hmm. Or hobby cars, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Hobby shops, hobby
shops. When's
Hobby
there a good
Lobbies
hobby
do make
shop?
money.
Sidebar.
Hobby Lobbies make money.
Hobby Lobby. Ooh, Hobby Lobby's a good one. They're too Jesus-y though.
But it did say part of the article that his knowledge of the CBA and expansion drafts was also like a huge
Yeah, I bet
deal.
the fact that he had that expansion draft simulator, that helped his cause a little bit too.
Yeah, they said they actually flew him in for their mock expansion draft.
Oh, that's tremendous.
And like he was able, basically he had an interview with somebody like from the team flew to where he is and talked to him. Then they flew him into Vegas for their mock draft. Before the mock draft occurred, he like talked to George McPhee and they basically like hired him on the spot and then was like, all right, let's run the mock draft.
Yeah, let's do it. Here we go.
And he knew the rules of everything inside and out and made sure they were compliant with expansion draft rules and salary cap and everything. And so he apparently became...
You're telling me that a general manager had to hire someone from the internet to make sure they were following the rules of the organization that they've been a part of for probably the better part of 20 years.
Give yourself
never
a bell.
done an expansion draft.
That's true. We haven't done an expansion draft since '93, I think. And a lot of things have changed.
How long would it take somebody to figure out everything that this guy already knew?
I don't know, a weekend? It's just a contract. Read the CBA, you dummies.
I don't know.
Have you
They
tried
already-
to read the CBA?
They found somebody that knew it.
Reading War
really
and
well,
Peace is
so
probably
now they
easier.
decided to pay
But
him.
if you take a nap every 3 hours because it's so boring, you could still finish it in a weekend. It's not that long.
Maybe a long weekend. Maybe a Thanksgiving weekend where you have the Thursday and then you take the Friday off and you get Saturday, Sunday. Maybe take that Monday too. Sure, why not?
To recoup
Yeah.
and sleep more.
Yeah. Tryptophan, man. It's a trip.
I don't know.
I find it fun. I'm fine with it.
I mean, good for him. I mean, this is a tinge of jealousy on my part
sure.
because I mean, if I had the wherewithal and the chops, programming wise, to make a website like that, I mean, I already do spreadsheets pretty well. I mean, I'm going to pat myself on the back for that. I'm pretty good at spreadsheets, but
Easy,
I
Barry
can't.
Horowitz.
Yeah. That's more visual comedy.
Yeah.
If I could program a website, which I'm pretty sure I could also learn in a weekend if I really needed to. Not the way that like really good programmers do it, but enough. Maybe 2 weekends. I believe that maybe I should start the next general manager. I got to come up with a good pun.
Yeah. What is that? What do you think?
But what as far as puns are concerned?
Yeah.
You need to give me more time. I haven't
I'll
thought
give you
about that.
more
Why
time.
would I want to give away my ideas if I
Fair
can
enough.
actually do this?
Fair
I'm gonna.
But I mean, this isn't unheard of because look, you look at capologist people who get hired, like advanced stats people who get hired off the internet and nothing else.
Yeah, that's a fad. Advanced stats people are gonna. They're gonna get fired as quickly as they got hired.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it, but I mean, it's not
Then again-
not unheard of. They're making their cash now.
We're the people, I guess, that we're I think one of the only shows, so to speak. I don't know. I haven't listened to anyone else's show, but I think we're one of the only people that absolutely despise advanced stats. I mean, we despise them a lot.
I think Greg Wyshynski and Dave Lozo would help. The Puck Soup guys, I don't think are big advanced stats fans.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So, but it's like-minded people. So it's East Coast people. We're not this new wavy bullshit hipster fucks.
Throwing a little East Coast jam.
Yeah, there
I
it
don't know
is.
what they say. Is that what
East
they say? Is that the
Coast slide,
Yeah.
Motown
Motown
Philly,
Philly.
back
Motown Philly.
again.
I was gonna say that. So my first job that I had in like 2000-ish, our company actually created a cap calculator for the San Antonio Spurs.
Interesting.
So they actually like hired an outside like technology company to come in and build them an application that now like anybody can do on the internet and follow through themselves.
Was Tim Duncan a part of this crew?
I think so.
Creative.
He was on the team at the time.
He was the package deal.
I never got any cool kickbacks from that though. Like no
Weird.
signed gear or anything. So
That's shitty. There you go. All right. By the way, FYI, Alexei Kovalev's back, kids. Who's ready for Alexei Kovalev coming back to Swiss B League? So the Swiss B League has signed up with Alexei Kovalev, which means even though he's been out of hockey for 2 years, I think we can maybe put a quash on Jaromir Jagr being the last NHL '94 guy still on there
uh-oh.
because Alexei Kovalev played for the Rangers that year.
But he's playing in the Swiss B League.
He's still playing though.
Does that count?
He's just getting paid to play hockey. That is a good point.
It's really, in all honesty, I don't want either of these jerseys, but at the same time, it gives a little bit of doesn't really give any intrigue. Gallagher's gonna outlast us all. He's like a cockroach. So,
Are you calling
He
Alexei
cut off his
Kovalev
hair.
a cockroach?
oh no, I'll call Alexei Kovalev a cockroach in my full Scotty Watts voice, my man voice, because he is. He's a piece of shit. Fuck Alexei Kovalev.
Is that Scotty Waz talking, or is that 8-year-old Ottawa fan Scotty Waz talking?
No, that's Scott Edward Wazalewski talking.
That's the man.
That's the man. It's a man voice. Say it like a man. So there you go. Alexei Kovalev shout out. We'll talk to this about live in a couple minutes. Edmonton canceling their off day, their mandatory NHLPA, NHL CBA off day because they
That was
lost
a lot of acronyms.
So apparently, if you play like 3 games with a 4-day span, you get a free off day the next day after that third game in 4 days. Apparently, Edmonton's coach Todd McClellan did not like that and said we played like garbage in that third game, so we're going to play or we're going to practice. Screw what you have to do and all that stuff. Of course, Connor McDavid did not step up for his teammates and say, "Hey, we need an off day," because he's 19. He doesn't understand adulthood. So Willie Mitchell went on the offensive, saying, "Hey, if there was a veteran leadership in that room, they'd say, hey, no, we need these off days because it's mandated in our CBA." That kicked up a little bit of stink.
Hey, he read the fucking CBA.
No, he just knows he gets an off day after these dates. That's all he knows.
Yeah, no, that's
Parts
the
of the
Cliff
CBA.
Notes
It doesn't
version.
matter. He read enough.
He doesn't
That is
understand the balance
Cliff
of
Notes
escrow.
version of the CBA.
It doesn't matter. He read the important part.
Cliff Notes.
The general managers don't necessarily need to read that portion of it. The coaches do. The general manager doesn't. The general manager needs to read the subsection about the expansion draft. You can easily do that in a weekend.
Yeah, but that's
You
like
do that
when
10
you
minutes
your
on Wikipedia.
That's like when you get your calendar from work and you just figure out the days you don't have to work.
That's
Oh,
true.
That's what they're
Okay.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
all he did was
agreeing
look at a
with me.
calendar.
All right.
He didn't read the CBA.
At least
Somebody
knows where
told
to
him.
find the information. I'm sorry. George
Okay.
McPhee's just not. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll agree to disagree.
That's a fair point. Just read the goddamn CBA. Man. You don't have to hire a guy.
That's true, actually. I agree. Should we get Lyle on?
In a couple seconds.
I'm losing track of time.
That's fine.
I'm counting.
We're pushing everything back. Concussion spotters were actually useful in the first weekend as they pulled Jonas Gustafsson after he got collided into. So the athletic trainers that are now spotters in Toronto and New York pulled Jonas Gustafsson from their control room out of the game, and he was not. They were getting shelled that game. That's also why probably he didn't want to. They wanted him to.
So was
stay.
he concussed or did he just suck?
They said that he hit all the triggers that could possibly be a concussion. Then he should be pulled off the ice. In the meantime. So
All right.
concussion spotters 1, NHL 1.5. I don't know how to score this. It's just a
What is
thing.
it? What are the what are the check boxes? Have anybody come out and said what they are, or are they are not allowed to?
I think it's just if you get crashed into, then I think they're going to try to take all the precautions necessary. They didn't say it when they said they hired athletic trainers as with a background in hockey, what the actual conditions were for the concussions. So we'll see if that actually comes out.
Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of good.
Are the independent concussion people hockey people? Like, I thought the whole point was for them not to be hockey people.
They have a background in hockey, so they understand hockey in like the basics. They don't understand the nuances or old-onces of it. So
They understand the sport.
they understand the sport
Is
to an
what it
effect,
really
but they're
comes
also
down to.
athletic trainers who know what concussion symptoms are.
I got you.
They can't tell you what a guy's Corsi is, but if he looks concussed, they'll get him off the ice.
To be fair, I couldn't tell you a guy's course either. It's math.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like an independent neurologist should just be a doctor. Like, they should have just hired the local neurologist that they thought was the best. And you shouldn't make hockey a prerequisite for that, because hockey doesn't have anything to do with being able to tell if someone's brain works well or not.
Hi, everybody.
Watching a TV.
Hi, Dr. Nick. Anyway, there's that.
What if
God was with us.
the stand-in, the guy who's normally there, what if he isn't going to be able to make it one night? Do they call somebody up from the local hospital? That's an emergency spotter.
Yeah, well, no, they hopefully somebody in the production department has at least pre-med, and they can call him down to the bench.
That's true.
Guys, I've watched every episode of ER.
Yeah, it's close enough. Come
All
on
right,
down.
Toby, you're in. God.
Bring your mask.
Yeah. I do Scrubs. All right, you're the understudy.
Wait, how many seasons of Scrubs?
2.
You're still in school.
Oh. But I watched it at the end, though.
Actually, I always get that wrong because all of Scrubs is technically still med
Yeah.
school. I didn't realize that any part of that, none of them were actually doctors. I always get that wrong. My cousin always has to correct me on that.
Oh, by the way, Wyshynski and them had the main doctor dude on their podcast.
Dr. Phil?
I know. That'd be great if Dr. Phil was
Dr.
on
Oz.
there. Doctor.
I mean, main doctor dude can mean anything.
The guy who John C. McGinley.
Oh, God, it sounds like such a great doctor name.
He apparently is in Chris Chelios' Mafia. So apparently that's hockey enough to be on Puck Soup. Which good
Fun fact: Chris Chelios actually started the Mafia.
It's true. It's true.
It's not. He's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Yeah, back when Chris Chelios started the Mafia, it was just called his friends.
By the way, also the Pittsburgh Penguins no longer for sale. Shocking what a Stanley Cup does for you. Shocking.
They brought in a lot of money from that Stanley Cup and the banner raising. Did you see how big those banners were? Jesus Christ.
Man. Like, did they still think the igloo was a thing? My God. Oh, well. Good for them, I guess. I don't fucking know. Oh, my Lord boss.
Lyle?
Oh, wow. Oh, I thought he was on.
No Lyle. I don't see any Lyle.
I thought he was on. I wasn't paying attention.
I'm sending it now. That was a question, Lyle.
I thought you were saying, Lyle, what's your input on the Penguins being for sale?
It was not a, and that was not, no, that was a question. I ended with the inflection up.
Lyle, your thoughts on the banners? Oh, it's a show tonight. Remember, kids, we still have NHL 94 rosters to go through. Last week was such a success.
It was
22 years old.
It's amazing.
Actually, technically 23 years old because they always go the year early. They spread their seed a little early.
Like Johnny does. Lyle's
here.
Lyle, we're talking about spreading seed early. Your thoughts?
Well, as the son of itinerant farmers, we farmed itinerants year in and year out for many a decade.
I was talking about teenage sex.
Yeah.
You can
Are you referring to premature seeding?
Well, let me put it to you this way: like itinerant farming, you can never spread your seed early enough. That's all.
I could get you in a sticky wicket, though, Lyle.
Well, it depends on how old you are, sir, and how old the person is receiving the seed.
That's true.
And sticky wicket sounds like a weird cricket type of.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a cricket thing.
It sounds like
that's the title of Scotty's next book. Sticky Wicket isn't cricket.
Sticky wicket and how I have carpal tunnel syndrome.
In other words, Sticky Wicket isn't cricket.
There it is. Rhyming schemes. So Jen told me this joke, so I give full credit to her.
Okay, and so if it bombs, it's her fault, and if it's hilarious,
it's mine.
It's the way you told it. Okay.
So why don't cows make good investigators?
I don't know, Scotty. Why don't cows make good investigators?
They don't like to go on stakeouts.
I thought you were gonna say like they never move very far.
See, that's what you want to go.
I think that's utterly ridiculous.
Here's milk those laughters.
Oh, there we go. Yes. Well.
So
No.
I gotta have another one.
Don't want to steer. Doesn't want to steer you wrong. But,
That joke was outstanding in the farm.
outstanding in his field.
I got another. What kind of dinosaur? What kind of dinosaur?
All right, quit milking this for all of us.
Homogenized.
You sound like you're getting cheesed.
Oh man, you're curting my anger right now.
500 jokes on the hoof, my friends.
Oh,
there you go.
As day goes bovine. What kind of dinosaur can tell the future?
What kind of dinosaur can tell the future, Scotty?
A pterodactyl. Tarot cards. It's always better when you explain the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say none of them.
What were you gonna say, John?
I was gonna say none of them.
That's true. They're all dead.
If they would have been able to see the future, one of them would have gotten through that thing.
I mean, you can see the future and just not be able to do anything about it. What if you saw a meteor coming at Earth? What would you do, John?
Go to sleep.
That's true. His sleep stats are outstanding.
He would go to sleep and then he would wake up 2 million years into the future.
And he would be the
I'd
smartest man
I
alive.
would be just fine.
A planet where apes evolved from men?
It's a wondrous drug. If you put it that way.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It does help you
Cocaine's a
get
hell
your
of a drug.
Z's.
It does.
Cocaine is God's way of telling you you're making too goddamn much money.
All right. Well, I don't
That's
know
a good
how.
point.
That's from Robin Williams, by the way.
It's a good-
Yeah,
Shout out to Robin Williams. That was his joke, and I thought it was hilarious the first time I heard it.
yeah.
Of course, he tells it better, but told
Sure,
it
well,
better.
you know, listen,
Rest
he
in
was
peace,
he,
but
he was a comedic genius, and
absolutely
we're not.
and we're not, and we do this, but we keep ourselves amused, and that counts for something.
We have
Can we take a second and make a movie out of the best deceased comics that we know? Could you imagine a movie with
Robin Williams,
Robin Williams,
Richard Pryor,
Belushi,
John Belushi,
George
George
Carlin.
Carlin,
Chris
Farley,
Farley.
Chris Farley, Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman.
Yes. Hang on.
Richard Jenny.
Richard Jenny, yes, Richard Jenny.
What's his name? John Panette.
John Panette, yes. I say nay nay. Bill Hicks is another one.
Yeah.
Bill Hicks, yep, from back in the 80s. Making a Grady's from the 80s. Oh, God.
Who are you thinking of?
Dude used to be on Just for Laughs a lot up here in Canada. He died. He died of a heroin overdose, but he used to do some good stuff.
Mitch Hedberg.
Thank you. Yes.
Yep.
Mitch Hedberg. Yep.
A lot of Patrice O'Neal's another one. Right. I love me some Patrice.
A lot of
dead comedians. Jesus Christ.
A lot of them had said live. Well,
A lot of
behind
dead.
the left. Well, you know. Oh, and Sam Kinison.
Kinison too. Yeah.
You got Kinison. Yeah. Wow.
Dice. Andrew Dice. No, he's not dead.
No, he's not. Well, his career is. But anyway, that would be a hell of a movie.
That's a hell of a movie.
Yeah.
The fact is, no one would be able to get a word in edgewise, and it'd just be a garbled mess. So.
But it would be like one of
still
those like
funny.
Valentine's Days or Mother's Days movie. You can jump around from plot to plot. It would still be really funny.
Still be really funny.
And the day of the movie title is Day of the Dead.
Did you get Gilda Radner in there?
Forgot Gilda. Yeah. Absolutely.
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. Yeah, I never liked Joan
Only-
Rivers,
but
but you
only
gotta put it in there.
as the robot from Spaceballs. I don't
Yes.
want
Yeah, I never cared for her stand up, I have to say. I really didn't. Really didn't. I didn't find her that funny. That's
and
just me.
Carlin can narrate, right? Are we all in agreement?
Oh yes. Yep. Carlin Neary. George
Or
Carlin.
he's God, one of the two.
Oh yeah. Or he plays the bishop the bishop again like he did in the Kevin Smith movie.
Dogma.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Jesus didn't come down to give us the willies. the buddy Christ. He's your pal. He's there for you. Oh yeah.
Carlin.
One of my funniest George Carlin bits was, and it wasn't even a bit that contained any profanity or anything dirty, or anything like that. It just, he would talk about how people do stupid things. He's like, it's like these people who build their homes next to active volcanoes, and then they have the nerve to get upset and wonder why there's lava in the living room. Carlin, loved the man. Anyway,
Amazing.
Mm.
So there we go. Live.
Sir.
The hell's going on with Jacob Trouba's agent saying, "Hey, December 1st ain't a big deal. We got this covered up. We're gonna make things happen."
Yeah, because it's October still, man. It's October. This ain't gonna get down to nail biting time till we get about mid-November. When we get about 2 weeks out, and this isn't settled by then, yeah, that's when that ticking sound starts getting louder. Until then, it's October. This is still a long way away. Yeah. And a whole lot of things going to go. Because see, they want to sit there and hope that the Jets struggle over the next 4 to 6 weeks and get desperate enough to move them. for a return that will help them get into the playoffs. That's what they're hoping for. The Jets, meanwhile, will be hoping, especially Kevin Cheveldayoff, they'll be hoping that the Jets play well enough to remain in playoff contenders, so they aren't under any pressure to move Jacob Trouba. So that's where we stand with that.
Oh.
Both sides in a stare down. Now the side won't blink.
Who blinks first, Lyle?
I would love to say that it would be Trouba. But with these things, you never know. I remember when the whole Kyle Turris thing went down about 6 years ago. It was about 6 years ago now when he was with the Coyotes. And the assumption was back then that he was going to blink, that he'd be the one to blink first, that, as they got closer and closer to the the December 1st deadline, they'd realize, hey, I got to get back to playing here, blah, blah, blah. And you started seeing a lot of the same sort of commentary that you're seeing now with Trouba. Well, it's better off for him if he gets back in the lineup, signs a short-term deal, gets back in the lineup, proves himself, and then blah, blah, they can try and trade him later on or yada, yada, or he can hold it for bigger dollars down the road, blah, blah, blah. He's got to prove himself. Well, they said the same thing about Kyle Turris 6 years ago. And now back then it was the Coyotes and Don Maloney who blinked first. They signed him and then traded him, one of those things you don't see very often, but it do happen. A sign and trade. It took a couple of days, but a sign and trade with Ottawa. So nothing's really set in stone here. I think again, it's going to come down to how the Jets are doing by the time we get to mid-November. If they're winning, they're doing well enough to stay in playoff contention, they're not in any rush, then it's going to be up to Trouba to. I think it'll start falling more on Trouba to make a decision. But if the Jets are struggling, if it looks like they're in danger of falling out of this thing early, then the pressure goes on Cheveldayoff. And there are teams that are interested in, but they're not interested in paying the equivalent of a top four defenseman, or if a left-handed defenseman play on the left side who's got equivalent around the same age, skills, and ability of Jacob Trouba.
Yeah, good luck with all that, Winnipeg.
Yeah, exactly. It ends up being pretty much take the best off of the best. You can still get a good deal for it. You can still get a good return if you play your cards right. Because other teams that could be using a defenseman like Trouba, they could be struggling too and getting a little desperate. So, as I said, it's going to take another month for this to play out. I don't see a resolution to this happening within the next 4 weeks.
Speaking of teams that are almost out of it, maybe getting desperate. Oh, the Anaheim Ducks are terrible. Holy Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but we saw this movie before. We saw this movie the same time last year. Same thing. Different coach, but same thing. We saw the same sort of thing. And the thing is, they're not playing badly defensively. They're not playing that badly defensively. Once again, it's offense. They're not getting enough of it. And this was a problem going into this season because, once again, they're relying heavily on Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaf to carry the load, and also to a degree Ryan Kessler on the second line. And the problem is they're lacking offensive depth. They're going to get Rickard Rakell back. Rakell. They're going to be getting him
his visa.
Exactly. They'll be getting him back, and he'll help out once he gets going. But for right now, yeah, they're hurting for scoring punch. This was a problem coming into this season, and I'm just trying to figure out what Bob Murray, the GM of the Ducks, what his plan is here right now, because this whole thing with Hampus Lindholm, the holdout, and all this, they re-signed Rakell, yeah, good, but now you've only got $370K in cap space, and he's sitting down saying, well, I'd like to be able to get Lindholm re-signed, but without having to give anybody up, or having to trade away a player in a move that could hurt my team. The big thing that's been kicking around the last couple of days, Elliot Friedman's reported it, Darren Dreger's been reporting it as well, is that Bob Murray doesn't want to trade Cam Fowler. The name that's been kicked around the most is the guy most likely to go to free up cap space, him and his $4 million per season, is because you'd be trading away a quality defenseman and getting only draft picks and prospects back because you can't afford to take any salary back, which they said would send the wrong message to the team. Well, you've kind of sent the wrong message already.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are solutions around this besides just trading Fowler or trading a player. Nate Thompson is not going to be returning until March because he's had surgery, Achilles tendon surgery done. So he's out until March. So that's $1.6 million that's freed up there if you go to put him on LTIR. Simon Dupre could end up going on LTIR because he's still sidelined with concussion symptoms right now. They have to wait 14 days from the time of the injury before you can put him on LTIR if that's what you intend to do. But he's 3.75. So 3.75 plus 1.6 is how much, kids? 5.35 mil there. I saved you the math because I could see your brow furrowing, Scotty.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Is the answer pie?
All the pie you can eat. Yes, that's what it is. But so there's 5.35 mil. You could also free up a little bit more if you demoted a couple of your kids who are exempt waivers. Okay, Jacob Larson's one. There's a couple other kids there they could demote, or they could take Emerson Edom, who nobody wants, and they could put him on waivers and demote him again. So you could free up conceivably about 5.4 mil if that's what you can sign Lindholm to. If you can convince him to accept that. But at some point, you're going to have to move some salary, whether it's, right before you sign Lindholm, if Dupre goes on LTIR, or you're going to have to do it when Dupre is ready to return to the roster. Okay, so you're going to have to move some salary here sooner or later, and Fowler's name is going to come back up again. So I really don't know what Murray's endgame is. Personally, I don't think he's handled this very well here. I really don't.
What?
I really don't think he's handled this very well. Because, look, he's chock-a-block full of defensemen. Okay? He got lots of good young blue liners there. You could move Fowler. Okay, look, they said, well, we'd like to move BX or we'd like to move Clayton Stoner. That ain't happening. Okay, BX is 35 and past his prime. Nobody's picking up that $4 million cap hit. Clayton Stoner is overpaid at over $3 million. Nobody's picking that up, not unless you throw some sweeteners in there. So, the move that had to be made, you had to do it this summer, and it had to be Cam Fowler, and you had to ship him out. Now, if your problem here was, the other issue was they wanted to keep Sami Vatanen as well. You can't keep all these young guys. So you're going to have to move somebody out of there. So you move Fowler, maybe you move another young defenseman out of there as well, but somebody who you could maybe bring in as a forward, an affordable scoring forward to maybe give you a little bit of boost up front. I really don't know what Murray's game plan is here. Well, hopefully we'll find out soon enough what it is, and if he can pull off this miracle where he can re-sign Hampus Lindholm without having to trade any salary away.
Lyle, he has no game plan.
Oh,
You
that's
should know this
very
right now.
obvious. That's very obvious right now. This was hope for the best, but it ain't happening. So,
Womp womp.
womp, womp.
Yeah, Emerson Edom back. Good for him, I guess.
I guess. Enjoy that trip back to the minors very soon.
Yeah, San Diego's not that far, at least. They got that going for him. First week impressions, Lyle. I mean, Austin Mania running wild in the T-Dot.
Yeah, and now he's gone 5 periods without scoring a goal. So
Listen,
good thing he scored 4 in that first game. Get
He's
that
got
all out
time
of
to
the
keep
way.
that goal per game average up. That's the good thing.
The guy that
That's fine.
I'll tell you, the two guys I'm most impressed with right now, right off the top, Connor McDavid, of course. Already
except for
beginning to show the-
not letting that practice get canceled or that all day get canceled.
Practice.
we talking
We're
practice.
not talking a game.
We're not talking a game. We're talking practice. That's all he'll ever be remembered for. What was his name again? I'm kidding. Of course. Of course.
Not in the DC area. AI is
No.
the man.
I know. Iverson's the man. I get it. But
He's
anyway,
the answer. He is the answer.
and the question was, what do you do at
Who
practice? Practice. We're talking practice. Anyway, that was a great line, though. That was great shit. We're not in talking game. We're talking practice. But anyway, Connor McDavid, jumping right off to the quick start everybody expected. But Brad Marchand, this is the guy that I'm impressed with right off the top. He's the thing when he got his 37 goals last season, it was, well, that's because he's skating alongside Patrice Bergeron and Louis Eriksson. Hell, if I was skating alongside these two players, hell, I could put up 37 goals. And then he goes to the World Cup. He is the leading goal scorer in the tournament. doesn't lead in points. That was Sidney Crosby did that. But believe he finished second in points to Crosby, and if memory serves, he was the leading goal scorer or one of the leading goal scorers of the tournament. And of course, he had Crosby and Bergeron feeding him. Yep, he's got David Backes and David Pasternak as his line mates, and the dude's got 7 points in 3 games. You know. I think it's time we start to realize.
And they got shut out in 1 game too.
Exactly. So I think it's time to realize that Brad Marchand is for real here. This isn't a pesky guy with decent hands who had 1 good season and now he's going to milk that for all it's worth. No. This cat came into this season on fire, and it's very, very obvious that. I think another 35 or maybe even a 40-goal season is another question for Marchand here. I think Sabres got themselves a real late blooming scoring. So I mean, he always had the scoring ability. You know, he was always good for 20 goals, 40 points. That was sort of the level where he was seen at, but just more as that pesky scorer sort of thing, second line guy. This guy's a top line player now. And he's shown it. I'm very impressed with how well he's played, especially, again, with completely different line mates. Nobody can say, well, he's good because he's skating alongside Bergeron. Not this time. Not this time.
Anything else jumping out at you, Lyle? It doesn't seem that the first week we're just doing it by the numbers. And
the first week is Vancouver Canucks.
Ooh.
3-0, surprise, surprise. Now, are they going to be able to keep that? I don't think so. They're 3-0, and they're also among one of the lowest scoring teams in the league right now. 8 goals in 3 games. That ain't good. But hey, it gives Canucks fans some measure of hope. Anyways, okay, well, there's a decent start. And the Los Angeles Kings are in trouble.
You think?
Because as you guys noted, I believe you noted during your injury segment there.
Injury report, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I heard that in the just dropped into what condition my condition is in. Jonathan Quick, gone for 3 months. And when your goalies are Jeff Zatkoff and Peter Budaj, you is in trouble. So how long until Dean Lombardi goes shopping for a goalie?
Yeah, but Peter Budaj, come on, he's good. Come on, he's good.
Good and terrible. Yeah, good for
He's
nothing.
good in the AHL.
Yeah,
There you go. Good for nothing.
He was good 10 years ago. He was good as a backup 5 years ago. He's not that anymore. And they're in trouble. They're in big trouble between the pipes. They'll give Zatkoff and Budaj what they can. Maybe they'll even look at who's the young kid they got down at camp they're so high on, and it's not Campbell, the kid they got from Dallas, because that's just. And they're a young kid. One of the young kids are supposedly high on, but I think he's a year or 2 away. So anyway, doesn't matter. They won't be calling him up either. So they're going to have to go goalie shopping. Andrei Pavlich is out there, but is that really an improvement?
No.
And the Jets would have to take back half of his salary. They don't have the cap space to take him on. But you look around the league. Well, there's not. There wasn't a big goalie market to start with. So, it could get dicey here over the next couple of weeks. But they're going to have to go goalie shopping, and they're going to have to go goalie shopping soon, because I don't see their current tandem help them get through this.
Yeah, I don't know. Jeff Zatkoff just doesn't, for some reason, don't have a lot of faith in him. Look at the Ottawa with 6 points. And they wound up losing to the Wings there, and the Mike Green show with the hat trick. But amazingly enough,
first career hat trick, and he gets it. He doesn't get it in the prime of his career. He gets it with Detroit in the tail end of his career. Hey, better late than never. Good for you,
there
Mike.
You go.
Good for you, Mike Green.
Way to go, Mike. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I've been watching a little bit here and there.
Well, you keep an eye on, but
rough first
week.
It
is what it is. It's first week,
General manager Lyle's gone. And Mark brings up a point where, why do they need to hire a guy like this when they can just read the damn CBA themselves on situations like this?
Well, I think what actually put them over the hump. I was reading the interview they had with the founder of last name I can't pronounce, and I feel so bad for that. But his first name's Tom, and he seems like a really nice guy.
He's in our top 8.
But anyway, I guess the thing that the Vegas, and we're talking GMGM, Vegas version, GMGM.
Mhm.
I guess what he really liked about the work that he was doing on General Manager was that whole expansion draft sort of spreadsheet thing that he did up, where you could go through, if fans could go through and almost like do it like a fantasy draft, expansion draft style, go through, pick the players that you think the teams would protect, and then that would leave you the ones that would be exposed. And I guess that was the sort of thing that attracted the eye of GMGM, among other things, obviously. But
But
anyway,
let's be honest, isn't that like hiring the nerd so you don't have to do your own homework? I mean, seriously.
evidently he was. Listen, hey, he was obviously impressed with the guys. But let's face it, General Manager after the late great Cap Geek,
Yes.
went dark. General Manager was the site that stepped in. I believe it was the first, if memory serves, and stepped in and filled that void, and filled it very well. Now, my own preference was Cap Friendly. That's been my go-to. General Manager was. I used General Manager as a reference tool myself, but I found Cap Friendly to be. I found it just more user friendly. Hence in Cap Friendly, haha. But still, General Manager was the first to fill that void. They did a very good job. So obviously, it was sooner or later something like this was going to happen. Whether it was an expansion team or one of the existing teams, they're going to hire one of these guys. The big thing for me, and I'm not the only one to bring this up, but we saw the popularity of Cap Geek for years before Matthew Weiss passed away. We saw the popularity in a very short period of time, only a year and a half, of General Manager. Okay, you've got the other sites like Cap Friendly, NHL Numbers. I mean, heck, for heaven's sake, even Eklund has one of the it's a very basic one, but he does have a salary spreadsheets over on his site as well for all the teams. Sport Track is also there as well, but they cover all the different sports. And again, very basic. Cap Friendly and General Manager, they went much deeper into the numbers and the breakdowns and all that happy stuff. There's a market for this. Okay, among the sports fans, whether you like the stuff or you don't, it's popular.
Mhm.
NHL fans love this stuff, but the league doesn't feel it should have something like this available to their fans. Now, these are the same people. The NHL also were very reluctant for years to include advanced stats, analytics among their stats pages. Now, I know you guys were very adamant about your distaste of analytics.
Fuck them.
And that's fine. And I understand where a lot of people come. As is, I am more of somebody who sees it as a tool, but not the only tool that you can use. It's not the end all and be all. That's the thing I find off-putting about analytics. But that aside, analytics is popular. Okay, there are fans who love this stuff. The NHL eventually caved and put analytics, enhanced stats, they call it, on their site. They're not very good. The folks who do this more for a living have been unanimous in their condemnation of how poor the NHL job that they did, at least last season, with their analytics. But at least it's there. It's a start. Why they won't have a similar sort of thing to Cap Geek or General Manager or Cap Friendly on their site? It just, again, and Gary Bettman just shows himself to be totally clueless when it comes to this aspect of it, because he's been asked this before, and he keeps saying, well, we don't believe that there's really that much interest among the fan base at large. Dude, you are so wrong, okay? So why don't you put this up? Why don't you hire these guys to go and run this on your site for you? They do a fantastic job for you. Why are why not pay them to do it? Why should they make the money sitting there and obviously garner the accolades and obviously be able to use it to get themselves a job? Now they just got hired by one of them. Just got hired by an NHL franchise. It's the expansion franchise, but regardless, the NHL franchise hired by an NHL quality general manager in George McPhee. So that takes Bettman's argument and throws it out the window. It makes it irrelevant. So why don't they put it on their site?
Here's my overarching question.
Mm-hmm.
You're a private entity. If you don't want your salary information being released, then don't release it. I mean, I get reporters get scoops and have inside sources and all of that, fine. Mm-hmm. But if you're a private entity, you're capable of controlling that if you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely put regulations and penalties on people who release contract information. Or you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Scotty.
Go ahead. Keep going.
I mean, or you can embrace it, which is what you're saying. Embrace it because people want to see it, and people actually, the more you know about something like that, the more involved fans are, most likely. And I feel like that's sort of the case recently. Is the more involved fans are, especially around the trade deadline when it comes to finding out what player salaries are. So, like, yeah, you should embrace it, not try and stifle it.
Well, exactly, and I mean, I'm sorry for interrupting you there before you finish your point, Mark. Because the thing is, yeah, you're a private entity. You could try to shut it down, but you can't. You can't. The NHL has, for several years after the salary cap. How many times did we see this? So and so, the Washington Capitals re-signed so and so. Terms of the deal were not disclosed. Yeah. Before the end of the day, we knew how long the contract was. We knew for how much, okay? Because you couldn't keep it in. And you want to know why? You want to know where it comes from? It comes from the general manager. It comes from the general manager's front office. They leak it to their friends in the media and put it out there, okay? Why do they do it? They have different reasons why. Sometimes it can be just so, you can, help. It sets a market for other teams who have to re-sign players.
That's true.
Okay?
Agent sometimes probably
the
does.
Agent will leak it. Okay? All of this. So it's point. You're not going to plug up the leaks. So just make it available. I mean, look, people who are involved in fantasy leagues where they do it with a salary cap, that's very popular. This is a popular resource tool. As you said, during the trade deadline, it's a popular. Hell, in my line of work, it's it's good to know when people go and propose stupid, crazy trades. You go, sorry, wrong. You're proposing a trade where Team A swaps $70 million in cap space to Team B for $14 million in cap space. That's a load of BS, And also in the lead up to the start of unrestricted free agency. So, I mean, come on. The NHL put themselves into a cap world. It's, So you have to expect that this is going to be out there. All the other leagues do it. Okay, all the leagues, it's out there. I don't know now. I don't know if the other leagues, if they have sites, if Major League Baseball or the NFL or the NBA has sites that they can put their contract stuff up there. But I'm sure that there are sites, kind of like what we see here in hockey and Cap Friendly and all these, where you can get that information. It's there. It's popular. Give it to the masses, for God's sake.
I feel like it's not even worth it in the NFL though, because when players can just get cut for no reason, what's the point of the salary?
The guaranteed money is the only thing that
exactly. Yep. But
who's the next one to get signed, Lyle? Who's the next one? Who's the next big internet savvy person and numbers savvy person to get hired? Is it you?
Well, no.
Are you gonna be it? Are you gonna hire? You know what, Lyle?
I
Lyle,
don't think so.
We can break it right here on this show right now. We can do it right now.
You break it, I'll fix it.
So Lyle, go ahead and give your news.
The only news I can tell you is that I will be back with Bleacher Report doing slideshows for another year.
Slideshow!
Beat you to it, Scotty. And I'm back for another season with the hockey news. So there you go. I mean, as each season goes along, I do what I do. So
dying medium. Oh, sorry, that doesn't work. Newspaper. I miss the newspaper hockey news, not this magazine crap.
Can you get the hockey news delivered to your doorstep?
I don't.
I've been doing electronically, dude. That's who I write for is the online version.
The only time I get like a hockey news is when there's like a magazine, like a special collector's edition or a season preview or some stuff like that. That's
like when this comes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Like that.
Listen, I give lots of reference material online, but it's also still nice to have this every now and again too.
It's great to have. It's good to have that. It's and that's about it.
This one.
There you go.
Forecaster too, but
Jesus Christ.
It's definitely easy. I mean, that's way more legit than like
good for real quick
from the computer and being like, look at this thing I did. I printed it out on my printer.
But I mean,
I'll tell you. Why do you? I'm also going to be writing for my hometown paper, The Guardian, again. And the reason why, the honest to God reason why I do it is because that is the one. That's the one place in my work that actually shows up in a newspaper.
There you go.
Yeah, like a legit. You can hold it up. Your neighbors see it.
Exactly. I've been doing this for 5 years. It doesn't pay a lot, but I don't care. I do it because I enjoy seeing my name and my work in actual print. There is still that old-fashioned feeling of
It's
look
nice.
at this. I made it.
What
So-
Lyle doesn't know is that he's writing the page 6 version this year. It's not about hockey. It's about celebrity gossip.
It's about boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something
Like,
I'll get
that's-
behind.
Speaking of, I'd rather get in front of him. Thank you very much.
Yep.
But anyway,
All the British newspapers have very great articles on page 2.
they used to. They
I
don't
remember.
anymore. They don't anymore. They
That's true.
Gotta go to France for that.
a while ago. Yes. Not that I know anything about that.
Well,
Mike.
Lyle, if you don't have any more, we can go right to the game show.
I'm done, guys. I'm done. I got
Anybody
nothing.
else have anything more before we get to the
I've babbled
more
enough.
famous game show?
I'm just gonna say the beginning of the season so far. I'm really looking forward to the Attitude Era in Toronto, going full force throughout the rest of this season. So
Austin
attitude
416 just says I scored on your ass. Oh hell yeah! Hurt my throat.
Was that Paul
What the
Bearer
hell was that?
as
people start throwing Austin Blue over top of this glass, and he starts grabbing it. And
But who would be the Undertaker on the? Would it be Roman Pollock? Would he be qualified as the Undertaker on the Leafs?
you need a phenom that's 45 years old.
That's true.
Yeah.
Joffrey
Oh,
Lou.
more like 50. More like 50. The
What
Undertaker.
you really need is Chris
Mark-
Chelios on every.
I really Mark Callis is only like a year and a half younger than me. That blew me away. I was like,
Yeah.
shit. I thought he was I thought he was still mid 40s. No, he's
No,
like me,
he's
an
an
old
old
rusty
man.
fart in his mid 50s, his early 50s.
He wrestled
His
in
early
Smoky Mountain
50s.
Territory was good.
Still scares the shit out of me though.
Yeah, dude, it's scary. Even with his
Yeah.
crutches.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the game show then. Ladies and
All
gentlemen,
right.
we're back to name that NHL 94 roster.
Oh, for
Last
God's
week.
sake.
It was amazing. This
Who-
week,
Who won, by the way, last week?
I
Or
think
did
it
we
was-
just keep a track
I
of
think-
winners?
yeah, we just didn't. We're just kind
There
of.
are
We
no
did- we
winners.
did- There are no winners. Everyone
You know-
gets a trophy.
You know who wins, Lyle? The listening
the listening public.
the
Wait,
listening.
did we stop doing the pick'em segment, or is the minor league always this much, this far behind?
Shit, you know I forgot to pick 'em segment completely.
Ooh,
I forgot that was a
We'll
thing.
have to do that. Well, you know what? We'll have to do it next week.
Start it whenever the hell we want to.
We will
It's our
start it,
segment.
we'll
Yeah,
start
that's
it next week.
Start it
Point
next
one,
week.
2 point.
Start next week.
We could actually probably start it this week if we want it to be
Man, whatever. Doesn't matter.
good year, Mark. We'll talk.
Well, I mean,
Whatever
I'm
you wanna
used to
do.
playing games. I'm just not used to guessing.
Yeah.
I'm used to making puns.
I honestly completely forgot about the pick'em segment.
Do it next week.
All right,
Do
yeah,
it
we'll
next week. Do it next week.
All right, this week, name your NHL 94 roster. We're starting off in a place that I'm going to this weekend. The overall rating 72, home ice, road ice, average, as well as their penalty kill, but their power play was normal in the Winnipeg Arena. The Winnipeg Jets are our team this week, and we're going to go to the
Start with
guy.
me. I wasn't here last week. Start with me.
We're going to go with a guy who
Now,
spread
last week I
who
already
spread his
Sorry.
seed and called dibs.
Damn it.
Johnny P. Johnny, start us off.
Johnny P.
team of select.
Put it back.
I
You
already said it
hooker.
last week. I won last week.
You said it last week, so. Now we go to Mark.
You weren't here. It's your own fault.
I literally have no idea.
Scroll ahead.
Pat Verbeek.
No, sorry.
Sorry.
Lyle.
I know Phil Housley was on that team.
Bard. Here we go.
I knew he was on that team. Now it gets hard.
Now Johnny P.
That's what she said.
Hey yo.
Now it gets hard.
Not on board. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Sorry.
Oh, good. They stopped showing the presidential debate on my Twitter feed. Good.
There you go.
Well, I keep following the Twitter feed while I'm doing the show here in case anything comes up. Then I can tell you guys about it. But no,
Well, that's good.
Oh, Trump looks medicated. There we go. That's all we
Shocking.
need to know.
Mark, a last ditch effort.
Are you muted, Mark?
Oh, he's talking to somebody else. Mark
okay.
is done. Lyle, do you want to add to that? You have one more?
Yeah. I said Phil Housley, right?
Yep. Phil Housley and Tim Solani are gone.
Keith Kachuk,
Oh,
Put it on the board.
Johnny.
Johnny?
was Bob Asenza on that team?
Put on the board.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember any of their goalies, man. Nicely done.
Bob Asenza.
Wow. Wow.
So we got.
I think
four-
that our fans have quickly figured out that Mark and I followed goaltenders the most when we were
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
most kids did. I know I did. Anybody got anybody else want to shout it out loud?
Mark, are you still there? Are you
Mark's,
still playing?
Mark's talking to.
Is he done? Okay.
Mark's dealing.
Steen.
Which
Steen.
one?
Well, it's not Alex Steen.
So it has to be.
Oh, please let it be Frankenstein.
Oh, thanks. I had it right on the tip of my tongue. Hang on. There is a Steen, isn't there? There's a Steen. Thomas?
There it is. Thomas Steen.
Oh, boy.
Put it on the
Johnny,
board.
I was going to kill you. I had it at the tip of my tongue.
Fine, you don't know where I live.
Tell me it's Frankenstein. That was actually pretty good.
Anybody got anybody else on the Jets?
I'm out.
Because
Johnny?
Fire would be.
Yeah, I'm definitely out.
I'm just saying.
I'm out.
All right, here we go. So you got Teemu Solani, Alexei Zhamnov,
Oh.
Evan Thomas Steen, Evan Dandanov, Darren Shannon, Luciano Borsato. I'm surprised the Italians didn't get that one. The Legal
He's
Beagle Mike
Canadian.
Eagles.
Yeah, there's no way that guy's Luciano. That's not an Italian.
Luciano Borsato.
Maybe Luciano.
Luciano, perhaps.
Luciano.
Hey.
Always eager Mike Eagles is in there.
Eagles.
Keith Kachuk,
NHL '96. He was totally
Yeah.
in the Caps.
Chris King,
Oh, right. Chris King. Yep.
Stu Barnes,
Okay.
Brian Erickson, John Druce, Ty Domi,
Oh, he was still a Jet back then.
yeah, Ross
That's
Romanek,
right. Right.
Romanek, Andy Brickley on defense, Phil Housley, Tempo Numanen,
Numanen. How could
Frederick-
I forget that? He was with them
Frederick
forever.
Olesen, Sergei Baton, Igor Larionov, Mike Lawler, Dean Kennedy, Randy Carlisle.
Go on, Randy Carlisle.
He
Randy
was a
Carlisle.
44.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
And the goalies
Okay.
were, of course, Bob Asenza, as mentioned,
Asenza.
and Jim Rivnak, former Washington Capitals backup. Jimmy
Damn,
Rivnak.
if I had more
yeah.
time, I might have figured that one out too.
Man, hey, dude,
how
you get
much
mad
more
props for getting a Sensug. I didn't know any of their goalies.
You could have read the CBA in the amount of time it would have taken.
I got Bob
Or
Asenza.
Jim,
did.
Jim Rivnak. My fault.
Yeah,
Jim
Rivnak. Yeah,
Rivnak would have taken forever. All right, we're going to cross to the northeast.
the Northeast.
Oh, kid. It's the home ice advantage is high
kid.
there, kid. The road ice advantage is garbage. The power
Garbage.
play's strong, but the penalty kill's really garbage. The Boston Garden home, the big bad Bruins 94. I don't
What's
know where
Bruin?
I-
What the
I-
hell? He's starting to morph into Schwarzenegger.
we got to go to the Bruins, get to the chopper so we can get the Boston.
I love it, you guys. You guys do that so well. I love that.
Get down.
I love,
needs to be recalled.
I love your Schwarzeneggers, man. That's what she said. I know. Hey, there we go.
Anyway.
Loving your Schwarzeneggers.
All
There we
right. Since he was not here last week, Boston Bruins start off with Mark with us.
Yes.
Come on,
Thank
man.
you, Ray Bork.
There it is on the
go.
board.
Yep, the obvious.
Lyle
Cam Neely.
on the board. Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Andy Moog.
Andy Moog on the board.
Ooh, good
Another
work.
goalie. Another goalie.
Mark.
I was gonna say Tim Thomas, but he's not that old. He's
No.
old, but he's not
that old.
He's not that old.
Actually, he was drafted in '94.
But he
He wouldn't have been in this game,
wouldn't be okay.
and he wouldn't have been on this team either.
No. Is there a Schaefer? Like a Patrick Schaefer. I feel like
No.
some sort of Boston
Nope.
Irish guy.
No.
Okay, never mind.
No.
I got nothing.
All right, Lyle.
Okay. Thinking defense here. Glenn Wesley.
Glenn Wesley on the board. Wow,
Yeah.
deep cut. Johnny
Was Adam Oates on this team?
on the board.
Oh, look at you. Yeah.
That's before he went back to Russia.
Mark, are you completely out?
I'm done. I got nothing.
Lyle.
Tap. I'm done.
Johnny?
Frankenstein.
And
That's so close.
he's from Luxembourg.
That is true.
He was the only Luxembourgian player in the NHL.
They like to be called Luxembourgian.
Luxembourgian.
Yes,
So are you you
well,
tapped?
once you had to assimilate in order to
true.
allow the Luxembourg.
I think this is Johnny's roundabout way of telling us he's tapping.
He's tapping.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
done.
All
Okay.
right. So Neely, Joey Junot,
Oh,
Dimitri,
the more you know.
Dmitry Vartlatov,
I thought you were going to say Kristich for a second. 'Cause I
Me
couldn't remember
too.
if he ever played for the Bruins or not.
Dave. He did. Dave Poulin, Vladimir Ruchitska, Ted Donato, kid.
Donato.
Steve Hines, Peter Doris, Stephen Leach, Gregory Panethlev, Dave Reed, CJ Young, Brent Hughes, Darren Kimball. On defense, Bork, Don Sweeney.
Oh,
You missed. Glenn Wesley, Gord Murphy, Glenn Featherstone, Gordy Roberts, Dave Shaw, Jim Weimer. Andy Moog was the lowest rated goalie of the two.
Wow.
The goalie rated before him, if he was green, he would die. John Blue. John Blue.
John Blue,
Who is
named
now
after
a
Don
pastor.
Cherry. Named after Don. Really?
Yeah, he's now a pastor now.
Cool.
There's that.
Named after Don Cherry's dog.
We're going over to my old home city.
My own
Jerry's dog wasn't even born when he was playing hockey. That was a good laugh. Thank you.
Good one. My old home city, 75 rating. The Olympic Saddle Dome was what it was called then. Low home and road ice advantage. Insignificant power play, but a strong penalty kill. That's right. The Calgary Flames. And Lyle, we're going to start off with
Damn
you
it.
since you live there.
Calgary Flames at that time. Theo Fleury.
Board. Johnny.
Mike Vernon.
Board.
Joe Newendike.
Board.
Al McInnes.
Board.
The big slapper.
Now,
Now it gets
Now
fun.
we're getting to the dregs.
pretty much, especially with this team. This team was pretty bad.
Joel Newendike.
I already mentioned.
Already said, dude.
Well, no,
yeah,
he
he
said
said-
Joel
yeah.
Newendike.
Okay, so
Possibly
in that case, Joel doing
His, his lesser known younger brother.
Yeah, I'm out.
Mark.
That was
I
a
kept
no.
my goalie streak alive.
You did.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
What goalie did you say?
He picked Vernon.
Right, that's right. Okay.
Mark, you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Lyle, and one more.
I have one more, and I'm surprised y'all missed this one. Gary Roberts.
Gary Roberts.
'Cause
the other
Gary
starter.
Roberts was still with him then. Yep.
So he is there. Robert
And,
Reichel.
And I'm out.
Didn't
Sergey-
he create
Oh.
the Ace and Gary cartoon for Saturday Night Live? Wasn't that Robert Reichel?
No.
We might have to fact check that. It could have been, it could have been
I-
that.
That was
Don't.
Robert Smeagol.
Robert
Schmiegel.
Schmiegel. Close. Close. Sergey Makarov. Joe Otto. Joel
Oh,
Otto.
Joel Otto,
Joel
right?
Otto.
Paul
Joel Otto
Ranheim.
Joel Otto Autos.
Paul Ranheim, Brent Aston, Brian Skrudlin, Chris Lindberg, Craig Pazlowski. I don't know how to say that. Ronnie Stern, Craig Berube, Chief.
Ronnie Stern.
Ruby.
Yep. Gary Suter was the top defenseman. Al McInnes after him.
yes, that's right. Gary
Michel
I feel
Petit.
like I played with this team.
Yeah.
probably did. They had quite a few good players on that team.
Frank Musel, Kevin Dahl, Roger Johansson, Chris Dahlquist, Trent Yanni, Alexander Gudnyuk, Greg Smith, and in goal, Mike Vernon and Jeff Reese
Of the pieces.
of the pieces. God, what team haven't we done? Trying to think. There's only so many. You know what? Let's go here.
Uh-oh.
There's 68 rating. Home ice advantage average. Road ice advantage high. Power play normal. Penalty killing average. And rated 68 overall. From the Brendan Byrne Meadowlands Arena.
Oh.
The New Jersey Devils.
Ooh.
This one could be a gas, kids. 'Cause I don't think I could name one guy on here. maybe 2. We're going to start off with Johnny P and see if he can keep his goalie streak alive.
Is Chris Terreri on this team?
Oh, put it on the board.
Oh, look at this guy! You're unbelievable,
Yes. Board.
man.
Yes.
That's what 4 or 5 in a row tonight. Good lord!
Hanging him out.
Well,
Wow.
I picked a bunch of goalies throughout. I think I've gotten 7 goalies so far.
Yeah,
Something to the-
man,
bad.
you've been lethal.
All right, Mark, follow that.
This had to have been after the Scott Stevens trade. Scott Stevens.
Board. Mark or Lyle?
Okay. Stefan Richer.
Board. Johnny?
Couldn't remember if you still with him or not then. Yeah.
I will say this: their starting center, I think, was a creative player.
I
know. Brendan Witt.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. Mark, anybody?
Patrick Elias, final answer.
Sorry, no.
Close. I was close.
I do know one because it came over in the Montreal trade. Claude Lemieux.
Yep, Claude Lemieux.
Yep,
There you
Lemieux was still with him.
So the other ones, the starting center and the second highest rated.
Oh, you're not going to ask the other two?
The other ones.
I just waited. Because that was my last
Scott
one.
Scott Niedermeyer, but he's not on that team either. So
Board.
Oh, Mark, he's on the board. Yes. Niedermeyer.
Was on that team?
No, he was not.
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, he
I was like, hold
he was
on.
the following season because he won Rookie of the Year in 93, 94.
All right, I'm
That
gonna
was
open
his-
this
that
up
was
to
the
anybody
original
else.
season.
Anybody?
No, I'm
Last second.
I'm out, man. I'm out. Nicely done though, because I didn't think Niedermeyer was playing for them that year.
Neither did
Good
I.
call. Good call.
I literally all 3 of those Devils were on the 94
Oh,
Stanley Cup team. I thought so.
Lyle.
No.
Or 93 Stanley Cup team.
Oh, fuck it. I'm going to say Bobby Holik.
Board.
Jeez!
Nice.
Because I thought I thought a whole leak, and I was like, no, wait a minute, maybe he was still with Hartford. Then it's like,
You guys are missing.
fuck it, I'll just say
You
it.
guys are missing the biggest one.
Scott Gomez.
No, close.
The biggest
We
one.
already named 4 Scots.
King Devil. The career
Roulet
devil.
Murillo.
Satan.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No, that's close though.
I mean, he is the King Devil. John's not wrong.
He's not wrong. I'm not saying he's wrong. He's not on this list though.
He's not. He didn't.
All right.
He didn't play for the Devils.
Yes.
Ken Danico.
There it is. Board.
Yes. As soon as you
We
said
met
King,
Ken
as soon
Danica.
as soon as he said King Devil, and then played his whole career, then I was like, oh right, Danico.
Well, if you would have said big head, we would have gotten
That's
it.
true. You guys did see him in an FHM part, or yeah,
Laura
F-
was
Maxim
trying
part.
to lick his forehead.
That's
I
weird.
don't think he ever was able to do it.
All right, so to follow that, we can't follow that. Alexander Semak was the second highest rated player on the Devils.
Wow.
Wow.
Riche Peter Stastny,
Oh,
Valerie
Stastny.
Valerie Selapukin.
Zelapukin.
You mentioned Lemieux, you mentioned Holik, John McLean,
Oh, how could I miss that one?
Bernie
Shit.
Nichols, Dave Barr, Scott
Didn't he just
Pellerin.
drop out of the Democratic race?
He did. Bill Guerin, Tom Short,
Oh.
Yanni Oljunin, Randy McKay, Troy Millette, defense,
Randy
Scott
McKay.
Stevens, Alexei Katsatanov, Vladislav Fetisov,
Fetisov was still with them. Yes, that's
Bruce Driver,
Bruce
Niedermeyer, Tommy Abilene, Danico, Miles O'Connor, in net, Chris Terreri, and
The Moose.
Craig Billington.
Craig Billington. How much O'Connor? Miles O'Connor.
Heyo,
There
Wow.
you go.
3,000 feet.
'Cause I would walk
That's
5.
5,000 feet.
You know what? There's 2 schools of thought on that one.
No, it's just math.
No, there's really not.
It's really
All
one.
right, one more, and we'll go.
Okay.
Man, should I do this team? No, I'm not going to do this team. I'm going to do this team.
All I know is I wouldn't have gotten Danico if you hadn't given that big hint.
Yeah. Hey, here we go,
Yeah,
kids.
King Devil played his whole career there.
They were a 56 rating. Home and road ice was
dear
low.
Lord.
Weak power play. Insignificant power play. Penalty kill was weak. They played at the Florida State Expo Hall, which is now Tropicana Field.
Oh,
The Tampa Bay Lightning, everybody.
Can I go first?
Man.
Can't.
Oh,
Mark with the C. You
I
requested.
thought you were going to
first.
say Florida Panthers.
No, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
too late. Too late.
So, Mark, go ahead, go first.
Dave Anderchuk.
Sorry.
Damn it. I thought he
Lyle.
got drafted in the expansion draft.
Roman Hammerlick.
Bod.
He was their first. Yeah, he was their first pick that year. I think.
Johnny. This is going to be tough. No, sorry.
Ooh.
Sorry. We'll come back around and see if you have another goalie. Mark? Sorry, no Menon Rayom. Lyle. So far, we've got Roman Hammerlick on the board. There's like 50 people in this roster.
That's it for me. I'm
Wow.
done. I honestly, they were so bad. Did anybody use them in NHL '94? I know I didn't.
Daniel
Johnny-
Bartholomew.
No, Daniel Berthume was not. He was a senator. Bartholomew. All right, the goaltenders. The gold.
Not in here. This is a Mercedes.
Hey, there you go. We're all the way back to Joan Rivers.
The goaltenders were Wendell Young, J.C. Bergeron, and Pat Jablonski.
Jablonski.
Pat Jablowski.
Wendell Young.
Damn it, Jablonski! The Chiefs gonna have my badge for this.
Defenseman, aside from Roman Hammerlick, who was the second best defenseman.
It's the only one I could think of.
Their top defenseman, Bob Beers,
Uh,
Sean Chambers, Joe Ricci, Mark Bergevin,
Hey,
Matt
Ricci.
Harvey, and Chris LaPuma.
Wait a minute, Mark Bergevin?
Yep. Mark Bergevin.
Wow. Okay.
Forwards, Brian Bradley, Chris Contos, Steve Casper, John Tucker, Mark Bureau, Rob Zamner, Michael Anderson, Danton Cole, Adam Creighton, Rob DeMaio, Jason Raffreni, Steve Maltis, Randy Gilliland, Tim Berglund, and Stan Girola.
Oh, no
How
wonder
could you
they
not
sucked.
remember this
Oh
team?
my God.
How could you not?
I only
VH1 say we're the
before I could pull a goalie, so
VH1.
I feel okay with this.
All right.
That I didn't get there.
Yeah, I think you should feel better about that. Next week we will do some other teams, maybe, and then we'll do pick 'em.
Yay.
Peck 'em. Pick 'em will be back. All right. Well, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun.
As always, guys.
Take care. We will talk to you next week.
And enjoy the Heritage Classic, sir.
Should be a hoot.
I hope you hope you and Jen have a blast.
It should be a fun time. We are looking forward to it.
Lots of pictures. I want lots of pictures.
All right, pictures of beer. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right,
That's
buddy.
all I ask. Talk to you next
right.
week, guys.
All right,
Have a good-
Lyle. Bye.
See you, Lyle.
Lyle, you can find him at spectorshockey.net, thehockeynews.com, re-up with that, Bleacher Report for all the slideshow, and, of course, the PI Garden Island guy. Johnny, shout-outs, please.
I'll give a shout out to you guys going to the Heritage Classic. Keeping up the what is this? The 4th or 5th outdoor game that we've been credentialed for.
I went to a Heritage Classic in 11, and you went to a couple Winter Classics.
I went to 2 Winter Classics.
So
So,
this is number 4. Woo! Number 4.
we've done well. We've done well with getting to cover things. So yeah, shout out to that. And yeah, probably it.
There we go.
Shout out to Darren Pupa. I
Poopa!
don't know what he's up to.
That's a great question. We'll have to find that out. I might have to do Absurd Goalie Monday. I'm not going to do Absurd Goalie Monday. Mark?
Shout out to this is the last time that this is going to be behind me, so shout out to that. Shout out to the new house. Somehow I'm going to be set up, hopefully ready to do this again next week. If not, then you'll see me from the tablet with my face like this close to the thing. Like before.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
Scotty.
Shout out to Johnny seeding his lawn. Shout out to Mark's hot water heater. Shout out to Jen for making me a great meal today. That was great. Garlic chicken, noodles, carrots, broccoli. Tremendous. Corn. Shout out to Darren Pupa, who is the only NHL player to be drafted twice in the same expansion year. He was claimed by the Lightning via the Panthers in the 93 expansion draft.
That's awesome.
Amazing. So there you go.
So that's the irony of it all, is that he was actually on the Lightning.
I know. It's amazing. I guess it struck twice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's been it. That's been all. We'll be doing some stuff from the Heritage Classic. I don't know what, but stay tuned to the Facebook page, and I'll give you that in a second. But for Johnny P. Mark with the City, I'm Scotty Wallace. Take care of yourself and someone else. The Face Off Hockey Show on faceoffhockeyshow.com. That's our Tumblr, the Facebook, FOHS Radio, the Twitter, Face Off HCKY Show. And remember, kids, Gem Mint 10 condition, be dialing. I had this here. I had to use it for today. In any case, until next week, or when we speak to you next, peace.